Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new thingamajig. Today, we're going to be talking about history and the space race. Okay, Michael.
Space, the space race is from 1955 to 1975, from our notes, at least.
Space race is against the U.S. and the USSR. I don't know how to read that. Okay, the first thing, and what most consider the start of the space race, is the USSR putting Sputnik 1 into space on October 4th, 1957.
And the first man in space.
What? Dude, you completely skipped over US with Explorer 1 4 months
Oh,
later.
I didn't have it in my notes.
Oh, rip,
I
man.
didn't have enough time.
Okay, go ahead
Yeah.
with the singamajig. USSR
The
puts the
first
first man in space on
man in
April
space in
1961.
1961. Ah,
In
what year?
April.
Uh, that's all I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And the
It
US
takes
comes
a while
back
for me
at
to
it with
write stuff.
Freedom 7. Second man in space. And on May 25th, 1961, JFK makes an announcement that the U.S. will be the first people on the moon.
By the decade, by the end
By
of
the
the decade.
decade. Yes, sir. Then NASA gets more funding.
Yep,
And then
NASA
July
gets some
16th,
funding and
1969,
there's
Apollo 11 launched. And then in July 20th, 1969, they landed on the moon. This marks the U.S. victory. Then later, America and the USSR made a space station in space.
said they docked with each other
Yeah, then they shook
and
hands and it symbolized friendship.
so yeah, pretty much.
And this was more towards the end of the Cold War.
Yeah.
Shit, that was only 2 minutes.
The
Uh,
requirement is 7.
no, requirement's 5.
Uh,
Um, we did skip over the fact that the USSR did put the first woman on in space. There was
y-
also a bunch of
oh, what?
spacewalking.
That's one of the things that I had written down. I also have a name, a Sergei Korolev. Korolev.
I have those two. Yeah, these are the people that led the space program.
There's
Second.
also that small individual part of NASA. Those two small parts.
Oh yeah, those guys, the technology wings kind of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
One to build it and the one to get the technology. I believe you wrote down the names. Hopefully.
Weinhor von Braun leads the U.S. space program. I probably butchered that name.
Yeah, we are going to butcher the names.
Yeah, and then Garrett Korolov leads the Soviet space program. He was Ukrainian.
Yeah.
It's kind of
And this is
ironic now if you look at it.
and this is all the Americans versus the Soviets in this race.
Yeah, you know, the leading space guy from being from Ukraine, that's kind of ironic given the current circumstances of the world
Uh,
right now.
let's not talk about that during with school project because that can be quite sensitive.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like anyone cares that much, dude. That's like old news.
Wait, it
R.I.P.
is?
Ukraine. Yeah,
Oh, then
actually, no. I think
again,
they're still fighting. Just the news outlets gave up reporting on it because it's been going on for a
it's
while
old
now.
news and nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah,
And What else? I had